Hey all, Tyler here with one of the members of TyCin-Papi Productions, Cindy G.
What's up, guys?
Um, Normally we try to avoid double WWE bullshit because, frankly, that's what it is, bullshit. And if you want quality wrestling, just go to an indie organization or watch NXT. The only thing WWE actually does properly. But recently, this has just, I can't bite my tongue anymore about the hypocrisy of what's happening in WWE, especially with the women's slash Divas division. 2 weeks ago, or yeah,
It's
two
a week
Mondays,
ago.
we saw Brie Bella knock out Liv Morgan with doing the yes kicks, and people jumped on her like it was unbelievable. Like she's a botcher, she doesn't know what she's doing, blah 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 blah. I'm like, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, accidents happen, people are gonna forget about it. But no, the WWE fandom has jumped down her throat calling her unsafe. She'll kill someone in the ring, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you kidding me? Can I name you some examples of other WWE stars that have injured others in the ring? We got Daniel Bryan admitted in a statement that he admitted giving Randy Orton a concussion. How about Seth Rollins, who not only injured Finn Balor and deprived us of what Finn Balor could have done with the Universal title, but he ended the career of Sting botching those moves. How about Samoa Joe botching the Muscle Buster and destroying Tyson Kidd's career? How about Asuka when she not only she injured Dana Brooke, Emma, and Alexa Bliss, and yet people are clamoring over Asuka saying you weren't ready for Asuka. There's a reason why Japanese wrestlers are either completely retiring by the age of 40 due to neck and back injuries or sadly passing away. Also, and if you want to go into your history, how about Owen Hart botching the pile driver on Stone Cold, which deprives him of ended his career in 10 years shorter than it should have been. So there is a history of people botching moves and others getting injured. Hell, I can even bring up some independent examples. Joey Janela,
Mm-hmm.
his move, and now he's out for almost over a year. Does anyone say he should stop wrestling because he botched the dive from the top?
Mm-hmm.
No. At Smash Mystery Show, one of the newer guys, unknown mass assailants that has joined Scotty O'Shea, botched the move and blew out his leg. Or how about last year when Shane Saber speared Joey Kings through a table, concussed him, and now Joey Kings has to live the rest of his life concussed and ended his career prematurely.
In Alpha One.
In Alpha 1, people.
Mm-hmm.
So, you targeting Brie Bella because she injured Liv Morgan is complete bullshit. Like, where were you guys attacking Asuka when she concussed Emma? Oh, Emma was not ready for Asuka, is what I got in response when I tried to defend attack Asuka. Or, oh, you just want to see the Barbie dolls Divas division. I'm like, are you shitting me? But yet you're doing the same thing to Brie Bella. And it's not based on that she injured someone. No, it is because you, the fandom, hate Brie Bella. Am I a fan of Brie Bella? No, I prefer Nikki Bella over her. But I will defend her to my last breath. It was a freak accident. It was someone that was getting back into the ring versus a super green athlete, which was Liv Morgan. So that accident was bound to happen. If that was, if it was Becky Lynch doing that to Liv Morgan, all you fandom would be insulting Liv Morgan. about
Yes.
how green she is and she shouldn't be in the ring yet. Why did they call her up so early? If it was Becky Lynch or if it was Bayley doing that, that's exactly what you would say. Sorry, Cindy.
Also, I wanted to add that to that. What about at Hell in a Cell? Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss, where Ronda did the the armbar to her, causing Alexa to have a spray elbow that she had to forcefully drop from the mixed match challenge.
And us fans we lost the opportunity to see Little Big again.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Where was the fan outrage for that? Nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So this fan outrage about picking and choosing who you want to blast for a mistake in the ring, for a botch in the ring, you guys should take a long look at yourselves and be like, am I really upset that Liv Morgan got injured in the ring because of Brie Bella's kick? Or am I just acting out because I dislike Brie Bella? Think about it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, in my defense, even though I'm not a fan of the Bella twins at all, but I do respect like how they're like trying to persevere their outcome in life. But yeah, in my defense about Brie Bella's, yeah, it is an accident. Accident does happen, But like for the past couple weeks, you could see that Brie is still tad rusty in the ring. That she just needed to be more like self-aware, like how to be careful with that. But then again, accident does always happen, and yeah, there has been a lot of debate going on about like oh, Brie should have stepped in the ring, or she should get more training, or she done it on purpose and all of that. It kind of sets like a whole storm through these different type of wrestlers that cause it. I know like the biggest heat we had, and this is one of the biggest heat, but another one would be is of course Seth Rollins did end Sting's career. And it would have been like, it was Sting's short run in WWE since his quote unquote debut. But then Seth had to end it and he got a lot of heat. And so there has been a lot of debate going on with he's like unsafe to work with and all that. You could see that, like, that once that he kind of injured the wrestler, he actually injured himself. Like, remember, he had two, like, ACL injuries, and then that's where he had to change his whole wrestling skill, especially his finisher too, for the brief time, the curb stop.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
exactly. People are telling Brie Bella she should retire because with her botching, she might kill someone or kill herself in the ring. But hell, look at Seth Rollins. He's done the exact same thing. Do you
Mm-hmm.
hear the calls of him to hang it up?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh, people got a little upset, but not to this level of what's happening to Brie Bella. So that's where I call bullshit. And look at Asuka, like I say. Um, I'll use the Dana Brooke example. Dana Brooke was ridiculously green, and Asuka was stiff.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to happen. We all knew that was going to happen. But yet, this exact
Yeah.
scenario happened with Brie Bella
Yeah.
and Liv Morgan, but people are not
Yes.
meant this.
And might I add, I forgot to mention, 2 years ago, the tag team match between Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Von Villains, Simon Gotch and Aiden English. Look what happened. Look what happened during the match. Enzo was about to do his signature move to Simon Gotch, but then again, injured. And guess who blamed? Simon Gotch. And that's when he got massive heat from fans. That's another perfect example.
And he's
Yeah.
got his well-known nickname now, Simon Botch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it pretty much sets like this whole debate going on about how it's safe for like wrestlers for that. And also I forgot to add, because I was there live in person a couple months ago at the G1 special in San Francisco. It was for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match between the used to be the champ Takahashi, part of LIJ, versus Dragon Lee. And when Dragon Lee did a package pile driver to Takahashi, Takahashi had a neck injury, but then he insists finishing the match, and afterwards he stumbled backstage and he fainted. And there has been a lot of controversy going on with how unsafe the workers of New Japan has been severely with so many injuries, especially this one wrestler. I forgot his name is Shobayashi or something. He's now the current trainer of New Japan Pro in Southern California because of his concussion that he has to be forced to be retired from in-ring work. And with Takahashi, he's still in recovery from his neck injury. He had to vacate his junior heavyweight title for that, and they're all blaming on Dragon Lee because of that signature move at the G1 special.
Many people do the package power bomb.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Owens does it.
Mm-hmm.
Mia Yim does it. Like there are many people that do that move.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a dangerous move in general. That's why the WWE doesn't allow it as much.
That's why ban certain moves too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, also, you were talking about the Japan stuff. It's a culture up there that there isn't a month that goes by when we don't see in our news feed, because we know we follow multiple wrestling other news sources, that we either don't hear a death about a new Japanese star, like a Japanese star, or that there's basically paraplegic or had to retire at a very young age.
Yeah.
And yet fans, like when they bring them, like the one lady in Mae Young,
Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was supposed to go last year. She didn't because WWE found that her neck was almost broken.
Oh, you mean Io Shirai, not Tegan Knox, which we'll get into that later.
And fans were not upset with any of that. Like, they come over here, they injure the American stars, but they're like, oh, American stars can't handle the Japanese style. It's like, maybe because the American, I'm including North America, so I'm including Canada in there, have more of a safety culture, whereas in Japan, they will go right at it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Japanese stars that come over here don't realize that the difference, and they basically injure anyone that they face, have a risk of injuring anyone that they face. But yet the American fans are like, oh, that's their culture. That's how it's supposed to be. It's like, so how many more of our stars, like North American stars, have to get injured before something happens? That's what I want to figure out. Because it's okay for Asuka to keep on injuring her opponents, and yet people are still like, oh, they weren't ready for Asuka. I'm like, no, Asuka's a stiff worker. She's a talented worker, but a stiff one. And you don't want to put in a new person that's coming up in the league, in the organization, against her, because who knows if she's going to injure them or not.
Mm-hmm. And that's all up to like how WWE is booking each of the talents, like based on like, you know, the histories in different indie wrestling company. For example, like Dean Ambrose, he used to be in CCW as John Moxley. He was part of the death match, like some of it, and now they book him as kind of like the lunatic fringe he is too. And regarding with Seth Rollins, like after his knee injury coming back, WWE booked him as trying to make it more of like a safe environment too. But yet, like with some of the moves like these talents need just to be aware of like where the target hits. But then it's like a lot of pressure from the fan base itself. Yeah. So I feel as if there has been like a lot of like heat going on, like, you know, if you're injuring someone, it's your fault, this and that. It's kind of like this whole propaganda that is going on lately in the whole wrestling business. Yeah.
It takes two people to wrestle in a match.
Mm-hmm. Or even as a tag team itself.
Person.
Mm-hmm.
Because when two people go in the match, both of them have to look out for each other. Yes, there are accidents that do happen. People do get injured. But you have to equally blame them then. You can't just focus on the one.
Exactly. And it's just to prove that they're trying to coexist with each of the moveset. And yet again, accident does happen. But I just feel like everybody just needs to calm down and just pay attention to see what's going on, especially behind the scenes too. And with that being said, with the whole situation with Brie Bella last last week, yes, it is definitely an accident, but I feel like she just needed to be a little bit more ready before coming back to in ring before anything happened, because they did clown on her, like, her botched suicide dive, not once but twice. Also, there was a tad botch moment at Hell in a Cell match where she was part of the mixed tag team, and then last week as well. So it's going to be like more of an unforeseen future, like what's going to happen with her, especially she's going to be having a 6 women tag team match at the upcoming Super Showdown in Australia, and it may be put to the test of how she's going to be able to be ready by the time Saturday roll around too.
Like, she just came off after pregnancy.
Yep.
When was supposed to do this training? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I understand she should have stayed a little more in to work on her timing better.
Mm-hmm.
But sooner or later, she was going to be called back, and like you can only do so much training because training can only take you so far. Sooner or later, you have to go into an actual match and get the timing back. So that's where she is right now. She's still in that I still got to figure some stuff out mode after being off for like almost 2 years.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
tell anyone, you take wrestling lessons, take 2 years off, and then try to go back in and see how well you do.
Mm-hmm. Or just get the proper training after being off of maternity. Like, for example, Maria Kanellis, she went back to training 2 months after giving birth to her daughter, and she's training as much as she can, except for the fact that she injured her wrist, because she's like,
I think it was a nagging problem because
yeah.
she injured it when she was in TNA, so I think it's more
Yeah,
of
the
a risk.
nagging one. And then Marie, she did came back training, but then her training schedule was kind of like clashing because of filming Miss and Mrs., being a mom, and all that. And you could see Harley that she trying to did her signature move at Hell in a Cell as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see Maurice back in the ring because, like, when people look down on the Divas era, she was one of the better stars.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about her, she has a background in mixed martial arts,
That's
people.
right.
So don't say that she doesn't belong in the ring with a Charlotte Flair or a Becky Lynch because
Mm-hmm.
if WWE treated her right, she could easily have a 5-star match with these women.
That's right. Exactly. And then with that being said, like with Brie Bella and the other stars, I feel that she definitely deserves to be part of the Evolution pay per view too, but just part of, like, certain, like a Rumble match or maybe a tag team match instead of a solo match itself, because that way that she can still have like enough time for her training, and possibly this may be going to be the last time we may see her just for a while. So
Yeah.
that way she has like other obligations and other opportunities. So for that being said, is that every star, it's an accident, but it's all based on the company itself.
Yeah.
Itself to book these matches, and also like going over like what they need to do and whatnot too. And it won't hurt the fan after all. I mean, we all are entitled to our opinion, even though it sucks that we're in a day and age, 2018, that opinions is being demonetized, aka how people are like butt hurting this and that and all that stuff. And I just wish, like, the whole freedom of speech, what we can say, should still come to play, but in moderation.
Because I feel like we're going to get attacked after this video goes up because people are going to say, "Oh, you're defending the belts." No.
No, we're not. We're defending wrestlers, whether
Yeah.
if it's in WWE, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, CZW, or any other wrestling company, whether it's major or a small independent brand too. We
Yeah.
stand for the stars. Mistake does happen too. However, repercussion definitely needs to be a little bit worked up, especially training is definitely a must too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people are complaining that Brie Bella didn't get enough training before she got in. Yes, but also Liv Morgan needs more training. But
Mm-hmm.
she was called up way too early.
Last year.
Yeah, and like she had very little time in NXT, and they just brought her up. It's like
Yes.
she like she's also one that does not belong up on the main roster yet. She should need more training, so she could have been able to take those kicks better.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, but it all depends on how they're gonna book creatively and all that stuff too. But hey, it's up in the air.
Yeah,
But yeah. So in my final words of it, I would say is that opinions does matter, but also the fact that accidents always happen. But I feel that it just needs to be a little bit more training, tweaked up to some moves that's not going to be too much of like, not a botch, but like more of like a risky factor to it. And also having like a cue for like their opponents too, just
yeah,
what to expect and all that. So
exactly.
those
I
are
feel like that botch that Brie did to Liv was inevitable because it just was a fluke timing thing. But Brie was doing her yes kicks, Liv was taking them, and then I guess one just hit her a little too hard. She started going forward. At the same time, Brie was bringing up the leg.
mm,
Boom, smack, knocked out.
yep, yep, and that's when everything started.
Yeah, and everyone jumped on Brie. And we were going to mention also, like, I think it's more because she's considered a diva instead of a women's wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this whole diva controversy that's still going on, not just like for different wrestling websites, but like everywhere else, like having a conversation about it. I
I feel
mean,
like I feel like whichever woman, either be it a diva or not, if they have enough balls to get into that ring and perform for our entertainment, they should be applauded. Plain and simple.
exactly. It's
Either they be called a diva like Carmella, the Bellas, Maria when she ever comes back, Maurice, Eve Torres, and if you people dislike the term divas or dislike anyone that was called a diva, then stop being a fan of Trish Stratus. Stop being a fan of Lita's. Stop being a fan of Beth Phoenix. Stop being a fan of Eva uh, Eve Torres. Stop being a fan of Natalia because they were all considered in the divas division, not the women's division, that divas division, and as well. Um, we're going to have two divas come to the wrestling Hamilton Comic Con next week, October 13th and 14th. Tori Wilson and Kelly Kelly. If you are one of those fans that bitch and complain about divas not being they should not be in a ring, I don't want to see you in line waiting for an autograph or waiting for a photo.
mm, yep. And anything else you like to add?
Uh, this whole thing, it's like normally, like I say, we try to avoid WWE stuff because it's just this is why I avoid WWE stuff. It just gives me a freaking headache. And the BS that some of the fans try to give out to defend, oh, we only want to see Becky Lynch and Charlotte, but yet you complain about that's the only two matches. So when they throw in a Carmella or they throw in a Maurice or they throw in a Nikki Bella, you complain. Why are they there? They don't belong there. Hello, people. You can't have a division with two stars and everyone else no good.
Mm-hmm.
So either accept them in the division or stop or rethink your ideas of it.
Yep.
Or let WWE use another woman, plain and simple. Either accept that Carmella's in there, that the Bellas are back, or else stop watching it, plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Because clearly you'll never be happy with what WWE does with their women's roster.
Exactly. And like I said, there's divas everywhere, including in the independent wrestling circuits too, y'all. So It's not just WWE, but also independent wrestling, hell, even Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Simple as that.
Exactly.
So,
just because they don't call them divas anymore, instead they might call them knockouts or women of honor, they're still the same freaking athlete.
and we're all humans here, y'all.
Yeah, it's like you fans let the word diva get into upset you so much, you basically force Eva Marie out the door because you say he wasn't good enough in the ring. So she took private lessons from the Brian Kendrick. And then you were saying, oh, she's too good to go to normal training? No, she was trying to get better. But yet, you fans didn't give two shits. So, you know what? This is why I stopped watching WWE, and I'm glad I made that decision.
Exactly. Exactly. And for me, it's like, I don't mind watching WWE, because I'm just a fan of just like some of the stars, but because I'm supporting stars that are starting from independent wrestling, like I know they all have like different hopes and dreams of becoming like a bigger name. And, with some stars, like in the indies, they decided to take a risk and just join with WWE, starting in NXT and then work their way up because that's like one of their. I'm supporting the athletes that started in the indies and then making their way to the WWE because I would like to see how they are doing coming from a long way, even though despite the whole like the creative situation that I'm not look happy about it, but still they're still the rising star and I do support them no matter what.
But unfortunately, as long as WWE continues with their creative team, we know we're never going to see a Ruby Riott be WWE Women's Champion. We're never going to see a Deonna Purrazzo as Women's Champion. Instead, we're always going to get Charlotte Flair or Alexa Bliss. That's it.
Okay.
Or Ronda Rousey. Because I think Ruby Riott deserves to be Women's Champion. I believe Liv Evans deserves to be up on the title shots. I believe Peyton Royce deserves a title shot to be champion. But they're not the ones that WWE want to focus on, and the fans seem to classify as divas.
Exactly. Alrighty. Anything else?
No, I think I got most of it out of my system now.
Alrighty. So that is it for the video then.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to follow me, I'm on Ty Coles on YouTube, Ty_Guy 1988 on Twitter, and Ty Coles 88 on Instagram. And for people that are interested, I am going to be trying to reformat my YouTube channel to incorporate some more pop culture-ish stuff. I'll still be doing wrestling, but I'm going to do like more of like what Comic Cons do, like focus on some horror stuff, some sci-fi stuff, and other pop culture shows. Like I plan on doing reviews on the Mayan MC series. So that's what's happening now. Hopefully, I can start producing some of those videos in the next couple of weeks. But since those are going to be more involved, I gotta script them instead of just going off the cuff. So they might take a little longer to come out.
Okay.
And you, Cindy?
Alright, so you guys can follow me at simply_C_OK on Instagram, Twitter, and my YouTube channel as well. Which my YouTube channel, I'm still in the process of like doing more music video, reactions video to different wrestling star. Also, another Vacant Thoughts series on like anything that's going on with wrestling and YouTube and all that. And also, if you want to check out WWE stuff and other wrestling related news, make sure to follow NoDQ.com for all the latest news in WWE and other wrestling related news, so that way you guys can see me giving my 2 cents about some of the upcoming pay-per-view shows and whatnot as well. And do not forget, make sure to follow our Facebook group, The Wrestling Guys, where we can talk anything about independent wrestling and bigger names to smaller names as well. And by the way, no WWE postcards. We have enough.
No.
Yeah.
Because you can go to nodq.com,
Mm-hmm.
or the many other Facebook groups, wrestling groups that talk about WWE. This is solely independent. We might talk a little bit of Ring of Honor and Impact, but mainly it's independent. And also, don't forget to support our other TyCin-Papi production member, Brian. Follow him on YouTube at DAZN Shorty with double E on YouTube, and as well on Instagram and Facebook. I mean YouTube as Prince Poppy.
All right. And well, that is it, guys. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, TyCin-Papi Production. Comment down below what are your thoughts on everything. And if you guys like to see more of like a discussion video like this right now, just let us know. And we're happy to do that for you. It can be any topic related to wrestling, y'all.
Only wrestling on this channel. If you want to see non-wrestling stuff, follow our independent channels.
All right.
So, peace out, everyone. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can get all your information up to the minute. And hopefully we will be back with Brian for your Alpha 1 review of Another Long Halloween, where I will have another tirade when that comes up.
And more high videos and all that. So cheers, guys.
Peace out.
Bye.
Drunk style.
Uma ameaça foi detectada. Uma ameaça foi detectada.